illegal immigrant being and you tell them to stop, you get stabbed. If you're walking through the streets of San Francisco, you might want to carry your poop map around with you so you can avoid the areas where there's large amounts of feces. Yes, that's what happens in California. So we'll be talking about that. In the meantime, I guess the big news right now, at least here domestically, would have to be a letter sent to Donald Trump Jr. that contained a white powder, suspicious powder. Obviously, the rumors are anthrax, but I don't think any official information has been released on that. And so that gets sent to Don Jr., and then his wife gets rushed to a Manhattan hospital because she opened the envelope that had the white powder inside. Okay, so they're actually reporting here in the New York Post that it turned out to be cornstarch. At least that's what the law enforcement said to the Post. So she's still in the hospital. So we'll be monitoring that situation. Hopefully it was nothing serious. Maybe it was a threat. Maybe it was an accident. But here's the thing about it. Because I've got this stack of news here that's actually about 5 or 6 different stories, but it's really the same story. Because who would be shocked if some radical leftist terrorist wanted to terrorize the Trump family, even if it was just by sending some white powder in an envelope just to scare them, and it wasn't actually a poisonous substance? Would you really be shocked if some radical leftist wasn't behind this? Or I don't know, maybe some member of the deep state trying to intimidate them. But you had this is really crazy. You cannot make this stuff up. Friday, you had CNN, and we've got the video clips. You had CNN praising the sister of Kim Jong-un. She's the belle of the ball at the Olympics, according to CNN. She's so graceful. She's so beautiful. She stole the show. Kim Jong-un's sister, what is it, Sim Jong-un, I think, or something?
Sim.
She got more attention from CNN than a 17-year-old that won a gold medal in a shocking upset. CNN covered Kim Jong-un's sister more than they covered an actual American 17-year-old who put on an amazing performance and took a gold medal in a snowboarding event. So yes, CNN is the communist news network. They like the Uns more than they like Americans. They like Sim Jong-un, Kim Jong-un's sister, more than they like Americans. And they just showed you their true colors. But then over the weekend, it didn't matter that everyone blew up against CNN. Nobody could believe CNN went to that low and really showed their true colors. And then what did the New York Times do yesterday? They doubled down and they said, Kim Jong-un's sister out-diplomats or outflanks Mike Pence at the Olympics. What? What? What are they even talking about? It's all very strange. But let me explain it, because it's all the same story, because this is the left now. This is the left now. They've gone full communist. They've gone full authoritarianism. They have gone full radical, even terrorist to a point, in many cases. And we've got cases of that. But how about the Obama portraits today? Okay, so someone draws some portrait of Manchelle Obama and Barack Obama. Really, really not even good art. I mean, really just strange art. But did you know that the artist that did the portraits has actually done portraits before of black women beheading white women? Oh, they didn't tell you that, did they? There it is. Oh, look at that beautiful picture of a black woman beheading a white woman. And that's not the only one. There's another one. Here's another beautiful picture of a black woman decapitating a white woman, because that's what it's all about. It's all about violence. It's all about hating. It's all about division. It's all about identity politics. So yeah, I'm sure the Obamas loved this artist. They probably had a couple of these pictures in their home, nice picture of decapitating a white person. And so they said, wow, let's let's have them do a picture for us. Now, they were kind enough not to depict Michelle Obama holding up Melania Trump's head in the portrait, but you know that's what they would really like. That's what they'd really like. Actually, we've got the official revealing of the Obama portrait. Actually, this is actually exclusive footage that we have got here at InfoWars. Do we have this exclusive footage ready? Folks, this is the exclusive footage. You're not going to see this anywhere else. This is actually the real, true reveal of the Obama portrait. InfoWars exclusive. Check this out. There it goes. And there it is. Barack Hussein Obama. The joke. InfoWars.
TV show.
Force exclusive. Check this out. There it goes. And there it is. Barack Hussein Obama, the Joker in chief, the communist dictator in chief, the Satanist in chief. I mean, that is the picture, though. I told you that was an InfoWars exclusive that we had right there. I mean, you just saw it for yourself. But it goes on. Antifa cheers murder of police officer thrown in front of train. Antifa leftists cheered the murder of a police officer who was thrown in front of a moving train in Cologne, France. The officer was hired to investigate Islamists in the area. Wow. I wonder if there's a connection there. About this one. White people not welcome. Costa Rican healing retreat offers women of color a break from Caucasians. Okay, fine. Doesn't bother me. But imagine if this was the opposite. Imagine that. No, you can't imagine that. There would be outrage. There would be an outcry. There would be virtue signaling and social justice warriors going crazy. But it all ties in. Keith Ellison attended private dinner with Iranian President and Louis Farrakhan in 2013. You know, I didn't want to cover this because I really don't care. I mean, Louis Farrakhan is, you know, whatever he is, but he doesn't run my life. But you did also have that meeting with Obama and 30 other Democrats with Louis Farrakhan. I mean, this is a man who's called for white people to die, and
I will try race. I never played racer. Should be fine. He didn't get bottom. Getting a lot of damage on Prince Charming. Fuck him a hole. Kill that guy. It's a slow hero. You're gonna die. I debated him.
Of course, this is lost.
Wow, very advanced player here.
The time
I counter you by doing the same thing you do. I got diamond in the new game added.
My lightning strikes.
Counter. Nope. Careful about him. Careful about him. Dude, what's fucking wrong with this hero? Come here.
I go.
Oh, next one. I'm too powerful. The fuck is real?
You can stand it.
I don't know where I am.
Going in.
Big estimate.
All my weepers, let us take the chat over to Helen.
Forward.
Finally tried. No. That's some last part. I don't know what happened. But where did Earth Spray come from? That was perfect. Level 18. Almost as high level as me. Yikes. Nice. Easy clap. Not so good anymore. Get me out of here, please. Sending BKB.
Of course. Not yet. An electric storm.
BKB is coming. Let it go. I got BKB. What?
Feel.
You going somewhere? Got BKB, by the way.
Nice. Good job.
Jesus. Yeah, I overestimated my power a little bit there. Not bad.
Maybe in 10 seconds. We're gonna get told. Around that. I'm here.
Just kill him, lol. Minus 50 movement speed, by the way. Nice. Oh, nice. Oh my god, we're being tied to charge. Oh god, he's dead. Oh! I'm not getting carried.
I'm gonna omnist like this guy. I'm gonna die. Omnist him.
Try hard.
Not even need omnist him. Let's go. Get Meytar.
Plus 20 armor, clap.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Of course.
This Tinker has no buyback. If we kill him now.
Hell?
Where is it? I'm running.
I can't
Not
fight.
even good. Okay. Oh, back.
Not yet.
Can't die. Karappa, did I die? Can't die, Karappa. Now what?
Forward.
Let's just kill him. We win. 3 on 5. Easy.
Quick as lightning.
I'm gonna go like this. With everything.
Let's go.
Bait.
I can't die. What the hell? Oh my god. So weak, dude. Oh, he's dying. He's killing them all. Yes. If only I had BKB there. Maybe I should have waited for BKB. Comes this here with badge. I can't do shit against PL. What am I supposed to do against PL?
Okay, there. Can you power shot him? Power shot. Look. Dead. Fuck this hero.
That hero's not bad.
Can we force him to buy back, guys? Can we go back?
Yes.
Hailing word in 20
This game?
Resistance.
Not any hero, man. That's it. Nice. Take your right back. Nice.
You're back.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
They heard that voice. We want. My power is too strong. No. Dude, what the fuck? I clicked cheat. I swear to God, I clicked cheat. I'm coming back.
We're losing.
Coming back. That's a little bit early. My bad.
Can you help me here? Help me.
I bring the razor
What the fuck is this damage? Someone's standing, dude! Oh, I hate Dora, dude. No stun for us, by the way. Alright, GG.
Alright, so I can run. Now, like, before they reach my ground. I'm in good position.
Cool. Carry to Goodman. Goodman. Carry me. He'll won't die. Kill this guy, let's not buyback. I'm coming. I'm gonna kill Field.
Good job. Tinker.
Oh, I got the swap and the dodge. Yes. I'm back, boys.
I'll take a minute. I'm on it.
Kill him, lol. Feels good. Coming in when it matters. Coming in when it matters, boys. Not carried.
I don't want to do this game.
What pussy, man?
We have no buyback. Run. They wanna all in.
The hell is Hicks?
I'm gonna finish the game, guys.
Mega Storm Rider coming in. Easy. Nice. And people say I have zero hero pool. Zero hero pool. Still never play Racer. Still like destroy it. I make the game fucking. Nice. Getting commended by team. Commend you back. Commend you back for not being toxic. Commend you. Commend everyone in my team, honestly. Oh, an actual game that works. I forget to end giveaway. Let me just remind you.
lose streak, Alice.
Yeah, you should check out my match history.
What a match history.
Oh my god! What the fuck? That's even worse than mine. I thought you couldn't get worse than mine.
I just calibrated like a thing.
I thought you couldn't get worse than mine.
Oh, you're in a big lose streak, Alice.
Yeah, you should check out my match history.
What a match history.
Oh my god! What the fuck? That's even worse than mine. I thought you couldn't get worse than mine.
I just calibrated like a day ago. I think I lost every single calibration match.
What's Tucker's there? 500! Get fucked, idiot.
Mason, what's your rank?
400 something.
God.
I lost like every.
Why are you even laughing if you're 400?
Because he's dumping down with me. And that's a good thing.
Why you make fun of my rank, dude? I don't even think it's all good.
I need to last it?
My lane now.
Deny this. Everyone deny this. Get this guy.
They're all fucking dead.
I'm dead. I don't have any more mana.
Fuck. Someone tell Bane to shut the fuck up.
No,
Yeah, man.
give me a level 2. Yes.
I'm fucking dead and he didn't die, so I'm really sad right now. Oh, where is he, by the way? Thanks, Mr.
I
Wasu.
thunderstruck the wrong guy.
How long is my penis? Always ask him one of these kind of intimate questions. He knows everything. In fact, she probably knows everyone's penis. Let's see. Yo, Tucker, what's up, dude?
Yo, dude. It's going pretty well.
We're not Tucker.
Not Tucker.
Oh, I thought you said Darkseer.
How did you mix Tucker with Darkseer?
I don't know. I'm drunk.
Fuck the Scottish people, always strong.
Somebody can come talk.
Okay, she just kind of walked away really fast.
It's like, no, I get to lane versus the, oh, he's dead. Go so.
Fucking god. Hello?
Better, yeah. That Shadow Strike better be enough. If you don't help me here, I swear to God, I will find out where you live. I will beat you. Oh my.
You are so dead.
Oh, shoot.
Nah, you're fine. You're fine.
Can you stop feeding my lane, dude?
You shut the fuck up. There's 20 healers here. He wants to raise his lasses, but don't let it for free. Not for free. Oh, the cannon point. Oh, I missed a kill.
There's a Bane behind
It
you.
was my liquid fire.
Everyone's dead.
Oh no, I am completely fine.
Oh, wait, Alice, what are you doing there?
It's fine. Go. Oh, let these idiots up here.
Wait, kill this guy.
Get the shadow thread. Why did you get to that?
I don't know.
Well, it's you killed yourself at least. I've liquid fire in 2 seconds, dude. But I can't reach from here. I missed again! What the fuck? This game's going on. It's a wolf! It's a wolf! No!
Shine, dude. Shine.
How can I get to the shrine in time?
Who dies like that, man?
How do I get to the shrine in time?
Yo, Tucker, he has no mana. What do you think? Oh my god! How did he strike like that? Tucker, do you want a mango?
Yeah, dude. Give me a mango.
I don't have one. Yes.
Oh my god. Fucking end the game, dude.
Go try it. Fucking monkey's dead as shit. This motherfucker is dead. No.
I'm dead.
No, dude. Oh, dude. Oh, no, dude. 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 I'm sure I am dead.
I am dead.
There's a real large tusk.
Yo, I'm coming.
Oh.
Oh my god, my team is 5 seconds.
Yeah, I
Hey,
can't
shut up. Don't. Oh, God.
Why did you do?
I said you haven't won many games either in the last 2 days.
I don't think any of us know how to play.
Oh my god, Alice, silence them. Alice.
What would you like me to do?
Silence them.
Better go. Yeah. This game's hard, guys.
I hate everyone. Alright, Tucker. How's the temper status going? Are you carrying this game soon, Tucker? Oh my god, look, you stole a stack. You're basically back into the you're dead as fuck.
Hey, I got the stack, man.
Yeah, you got the stack at least.
Dennis.
That's 600 gold, actually. Holy shit.
Yeah. They all look so squishy. Look, he doesn't understand there's a void there. I have half ice. Trap him, Alice. You can get him. If you try it. Oh fuck.
Well, I did my best.
Somebody stun him.
Scared him.
These bitches come from bottom lane into our base.
Oh, I don't do any damage.
She's alive.
Do anything.
Or trap
I don't do any damage.
No.
Ow.
I'm sure we've got this.
Tips, gotta go.
I don't have it yet.
Fucking slut.
Oh, I feel that. Why is the HP going up?
Why is the HP going up?
I need help.
He bought back.
You? Anyone?
Running. I'm running too.
Oops, from where?
Oh my god, how's he doing this?
This pipe. Go out of the pipe.
How is the HP just going up?
Oh my god.
Please, your life for drive. No, oh, we're at 1,600 gold. How far are we behind?
Fuck him, go. Shut up.
I gotta get it. Oh,
Oh, what are you doing, Tucker?
Tucker, you small confused child. Maybe you're stronger than this guy at least. I think Bane has no mana. He's really fast. So.
Fucking hasty, dude.
Tucker, don't walk where he's going. Don't walk where he's going. What is we made?
I'm coming, Gyro. I got you, buddy. Oh, Alice is having some problems. I'll give you speed.
Okay, then do it.
Oh my god, that.
Yo, we have a instant problem here.
Wait, our Gyro is dead?
Yeah.
Kill him.
Oh, flee. Kite the BKB. Kite it.
Yeah.
No.
Good kite.
But just don't commit to the goal. Jesus Christ. Oh, he's coming. This guy hurts.
Just wait for the
No!
What? Probably did more damage.
Try to warn you.
I don't do anything. I do 0 wreckage on the ground.
Alright. Alright.
Wow. That ants hurts.
Touching me, dude.
Oh god.
Whose fault is this?
I should have just farmed help.
Close game, close game.
Okay, just 15 seconds.
Alright, I'm blaming the one that dealt the least damage in this game. Is it you? Alright. How is it me? I'm already the highest in the game.
Close game, close game.
Yeah, it was
Who did the least damage? Alice! You did more than you thought. You're inflating my damage? Get the fuck out of here. Fuck you. Who willingly fix a CK into thing?
This February, we're celebrating Black History Month by honoring those who came before us and by recognizing those who are doing great things today. So we asked your favorite YouTube personalities to share who they think is creating Black history and why. And every day, all month long, the YouTube Spotlight channel will share one of those stories on Reels. From Dawn Tamer to Andrea's Choice to Jules to Ari Fitz and more. See who's influenced our most influential stars. 28 days, 28 stories, 28 ways to discover the world of accomplishments that create Black history. Go to the Spotlight channel on mobile, click on the Reels tab, and start watching.
More like Marxist, cultural Marxist science. Okay, you guys have probably heard about it, but guess what? The first British man was black, says lefty cultural Marxist SJW scientists, and his name is Cheddar Man. So the first Brits who lived about 10,000 years ago had dark to black skin. A groundbreaking DNA analysis of Britain's oldest complete skeleton is revealed. This skeleton, by the way, you guys, was found 100 years ago in Cheddar Gorge, England. Okay, 100 years ago.
Where they used to store cheddar cheese, by the way. Exactly, that's where the name comes from. Get to that, and I love UK cheddar. But when they first discovered this, the scientists agreed that he had light skin. They had another rendering of him. They're like, oh yeah, it was basically, you know, a Caucasian. Let me show a picture. Here's actually from the museum. Sorry, the Cheddar Museum. This is the initial depiction of the man, and clearly you can see that he's depicted with white skin. And then just now, I don't know, just pure coincidence, it just changes. These scientists come out, oh, actually, with unprecedented accuracy, this is actually how he looks decades later. I mean, to me, it's really no coincidence considering the push to make England, you know, a country for everyone. So they find this skeleton over 100 years ago and just now are coming out with this. And so a lot of these, you know, white SJW science behind this, or they were just pure straight up white SJW scientists. Oh, the first Brits were black, so let's flood England with Africans now. That's basically what's funny, because just on Twitter, people were saying, hey, that kind of looks like Meghan Markle, superimposing Cheddar Man's face on top of her. And it's also kind of convenient because they have this wedding going on now. They're pushing this multicultural propaganda. And hey, it turns out the first British people were black. But really, to say first Brit is ridiculous. Henrik, we talked about this because 90% of Europeans descended, you know, from the late Neolithic invasion, we're told, of the British Isles by groups from surrounding areas. So what do they mean by British? But of course, you know, the We Was Kings crowd is going wild, saying, you know, we're the creators of Western civilization. But here's the thing. The fact is, there's no way to know his skin color. And there's no way to know if he has blue eyes, which is a Caucasian trait. So this is just Boasian scientists. They make this composite basically of an Asian-looking guy with black skin and blue eyes. He's all mixed, right? They're trying to justify the mixed future, you know, only in white nations, of course.
I can't think of a bigger waste of time for a man than to debate a woman. I really can't. I'm not speaking about.
Okay.
Well, are you serious? I don't do it. I don't do it. The first, when you take the red pill, that's the first thing that you learn, that women will never accept logical arguments ever. There is no point to debate a woman. I do it right now just for fun and laughs.
That's the only reason.
I'm going to convince Brittany of what I think. I'm hitting her with logic, and it goes over her frizzy hair like, geez, this girl, you can't get to that girl.
I hit you with responses as to why you're wrong, and it goes over your head, in and out. How about men start to listen better?
I don't understand.
Generalities.
Okay. Anyway.
Hey guys, before the fire starts, I'm enjoying this dumpster fire. But Lauren, what's going on, Lauren? How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. So I'm just about to head to the gym, so I only have a couple minutes, but I thought I'd give my 2 cents.
All right, sounds good. Okay, so
wait, it's going to the gym trap. We have to discuss.
I have a question for Lauren before she leaves. Oh boy. No.
All right. Let's Lauren, what do you make of all this?
Well, I mean, I've watched a few of the videos before. I've watched a few of the streams on this stuff, and it's kind of amusing to watch a lot of the kind of armchair psychology go on, and people speaking in just riddles and not really saying who they're talking about. And I watched this, like, for example, the last stream, people were like, oh, Brittany Pettibone has been doing so much better since she stopped doing videos with Lauren. Brittany and I are best friends. I helped set her and her boyfriend up, who are hopefully going to get married. Like, you just have all these people making things up. They have no idea what they're talking about. They are constantly misrepresenting my opinion. Like, Roosh, like, I don't hate you, man. I find some of your stuff entertaining, actually. But I certainly don't agree with you on a lot. But, like, you have people saying, oh, Lauren wants to force these opinions.
See, we're all mixed, so, you know, let's bring them on in, right?
Yeah, well, there's a couple of kind of scientific comparisons that you can make, and one, of course, is to the other kind of finds that have been made, not only of the other, white mummies that have kind of come into other parts of the country or other parts of the world, but there on the screen right there was the Ötzi, the Iceman that was found up in the Alps between, I think it was Switzerland and Italy. Yeah, maybe that was correct. But anyway, so they proposed that Ötzi lived between 3,400 to 3,100 BC, which is about 5,200 years ago. The Cheddar Man is believed to be from 9,100 BC, right? So that's 11,100 years ago. So that leaves us about 5,900 years in between. So the question is that enough time to change the skin complexion of those living there at that time? And this is my take on it. That first of all, we'll get into whether that this is bullshit, but let's just assume that it's correct, right? And from that point of view, I would say it's possible because we have something called non-coding DNA, which basically they call junk DNA. And it's a large chunk of it, like 95%. And I know that there's telomeres and stuff like that in there, which is like a large portion of your DNA, so that it can replicate itself. Basically, this is your life extension. When you run out of the telomeres, that's when you get older and older and eventually die because you don't reproduce that DNA again. But nonetheless, there seems to be some scientific evidence for the fact that you have spurt or like radically quick mutations in the genetics over time if the right environmental pressures are there. So sometimes in the record, you can see that things have literally geologically speaking, has changed overnight, right? It's a super quick change. So I wouldn't throw it out the window that it's possible that something could change over 5,900 years. Maybe not like just slow evolutionary, transmutation or whatever, if you even believe in that theory. So I wouldn't throw that out the window. But my take on it is this: why is it that one find is justified in rewriting the whole freaking story, right? Because think of it this way. He could simply have been, if it's true that he even has black skin, right? There's a number of things we can talk about here. We should. One is, well, if he has blue eyes, that clearly does not make him either African or Asian. There's something else going on with his genetic. In other words, he belongs to a unique branch of the human evolutionary tree. He might be a prototype to white people. We don't know. I think that the scientists and these anti-racist campaigns that they're on, they're so stupid. So they think that we think it's only about skin color. Yeah, exactly. So that if he would have if we can convince them that he had black skin, they will sock it to all the racists out there, right? I mean, this is ridiculous.
And they're not going to know this through testing his bone powder. They're not going to know what skin color.
It was a fossil. It's a fossil that they found.
These two guys right there, those twins, they came up, that you see the image there. They're the ones who came up with this, what he would look like, partially, with the other team. But they're the guys who do a lot of the reconstructions of what some of these finds are. And it just happens to be that they always make them look not white every time they find these finds.
Of course.
Even if it was true, let's go back to that. We don't know if it was a traveler, a slave, who was brought there. Yeah. Who knows? I mean, because you had mentioned the Tarim Basin mummies, the white, red-haired mummies found in China.
Right here.
So do people say China was never Asian? Europeans were
what I was going to say.
Were the first Chinese. So let's flood it with Europeans now. Okay?
Well, as you said, the only thing it indicates is that there's one find that supposedly is breaking or is contradictory. Right? Because they haven't made hundreds of thousands of finds like this and claim, oh, it looks like all of them have black. We don't know where it came from. Maybe he was, I think someone said like a kind of Sardinian, Middle Eastern, Phoenician, kind of something like that, right? There might be some kind of Caucasus kind of blend or something in there, but it doesn't matter. It's one find. It doesn't prove that all of the British Isles at that time had people in it that looked like him. Right? I mean, that's a stupid thing to do. That's why a headline like this is so disingenuous and stupid. Oh, and look at this. It turns out the first British people were actually black. Like, if he has blue eyes, then no, I'm sorry, they were not black. Because when they say black, they mean Africans, right?
When you research, like, Jon Dickman, yeah, that's his name, Dickman, the lead researcher behind this, who was running the show here, very anti-white guy, Marxist, who, you know, claims that Africans were in Europe for 35,000 years before, you know, Europe's never been white, who's really English, white. I mean, this is the kind of guy who's behind this research. So, of course, you know, decades later, he's like, no, let's resurrect that. Let's bring it out during the
Here's the team, by the way, right here. The liberals. Look at this.
Refugee invasion, the marriage, all this. And he claims that his skin color changed because of an agricultural diet, which a lot of people have wrongs.
Well, exactly.
Agriculture is not going to change his skin color to white.
No.
Eating grain.
That's stupid. And
look at the Inuits. How long have they been up there? Have they changed? Have they become blonde and blue eyes? And in fact, not eating the vitamin D diet has made them sicker, and like they're having health problems. Probably going to die off because of
that's why they eat so much like seal blubber and this kind of stuff. Of like organ meats and eyeballs from seals and stuff like this. But I mean, ultimately, it's like if he had this is my point. If he has blue eyes, then he's not an African. He's not an Asian. But it's clear that the features that they have given this man. Look at that. I mean, it's like it's clear that he's a mix between an African and an Asian with blue eyes, right? Yeah. So they've been pushing for the longest time. They've been pushing this idea that Europeans are mixed between three different groups, right? This came out when this find of Costinic 14 was surfaced. It was just like back in the 1900s, something like that. They found this that he was comprised of three different groups. So they have tried to push that. Well, this is the group that came from Russia. Here's some maybe a little Neanderthal DNA, and then there's there's a hunter-gatherer part to the Europeans. Then there was invasion kind of thing, and they seem to have brought agricultural and farming. And then it was like either it was the Denisovo in that mix, the Russian part, or it was Neanderthal. I forget if they included Neanderthal among those three major groups, or if it was just the Denisovo, such as this one. Europe was a melting pot from the start. Ancient DNA revealed, right? This is National Geographic. And this is the kind of stuff that's come out ever since the 30,000-year-old human bone was found in Costinic, kind of found, right? And it was, of course, the people that were studying this and stuff like that had an agenda. Basically, it was clear that they wanted to push migration, they wanted to push the melting pot kind of ideology, and that's the kind of stuff that's come out of this, together with out of Africa, all that kind of stuff. But just back to the cheddar man for a little while. It's irrelevant because it's just one find. It doesn't. It could just have been a traveler. As you said, it doesn't mean that the white mummies in China that have been found proves that all Chinese were white at that time. It's exactly the same thing.
We don't know what they were doing there, just like we don't know. But it's just so hypocritical. There's all these white finds and all these other places that are not considered white areas, but they don't ever say, it turns out Europeans were the first Chinese or whatever. I mean, this is what happens. But when you look into the fund or the welcome fund behind it, you always find a bunch of Marxists that are funding these, studies and this kind of research and everything. But I mean, we know we come from Neanderthals. We're perfectly suited over years of evolution to live in the north, and these are things that we can talk about. I just think that it's a coincidence to this just kind of comes out decades later after we learn, and we've known this for a while, that the first Egyptians right and out of Africa theory is full of holes, so now they have to do something like this up.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like, as you said, the Inuits, the Eskimos, they have, despite being in a northern climate, they have not evolved out of brown eyes, slanted Chinese eyes, for example. They haven't. They're not that dark. Their hair, but their skin is not that dark, and that you can understand. But there's something that's of course. But I'm saying it's not just environmental pressures. There's something else going on that has created it, and frankly, we don't know what that is, and that's an interesting discussion. But all of this you have to remember is that are didactic, as they call it, like it's informative or psyop propaganda from the scientific point of view. It's meant to break down your understanding of yourself and meant to basically make you give up on your own people and your race. It's supposed to justify migration. Right? We were always mixed, kind of thing. it's always migrate. We always blend it, so there isn't any pure or anything. And this is ridiculous. Because it's like, even if it was true that anything, and it also does not justify the mass displacement and replacement of Europeans today. It does not justify open borders. It doesn't justify anything. We have, regardless where we come from, developed into a unique genetic branch on the human tree of evolution, and we deserve and deserve. We will claim and take the right to preserve ourselves and defend ourselves. If we're being targeted by other groups, that's
check out some of these tweets, how people are responding. Basically, if we don't agree with this, we're racist. Look, keep putting white, gentlemen. Surprise, bitches. Yeah. Like, this is the kind of low IQ bull that I'm saying. Look, I love the expression, like, you know, when white supremacists are wearing that earlier Britain had dark skin.
Oh yeah, this is to assume that we only care about skin
it's
color.
Just ridiculous.
I mean, if his eyes are blue, it means that he's something different. There's something unique about the guy, and he belongs to a different branch of human evolution.
But right away, it's like, oh, suck on that, you racist. We was kings and England's ours
we
now.
owe you shit. You know?
Yeah, look, and then a lot of these people in England are like, this is a bunch of hogwash. They're going through a bunch of other history, and people are saying like, this is just a bunch of bull. And then they get called racist and Nazis and all this. But a lot of people are like, yeah, this is PC gone mad. A lot of people are onto it.
Sorry, we can come back to that. But yeah, the comments, as usual, you can find the comments frankly these days. But again, there's a first depiction, and the changes are not based on any new scientific discovery. There's nothing that says, oh, we have found a residue in the genetic material that says to us that he's in fact black or whatever. No, there's nothing. And I mean, and this is how he looked. And this guy's still, I believe, in the museum, the Cheddar Museum, standing there. So all this new bullshit is just didactic. There's a couple of, I guess, good comments from some folks here, which reference to the first thing that we talked about here. Yeah, let's see. The Iceman found on the Italian-Austrian border 6,000 years old, was preserved with white skin. Going from black to white skin in 4,000 years is impossible. Again, I might not necessarily agree with that, depending on the environmental pressures. It could be something different. I recognize that in a way. But I do feel still that would entail that something really extraordinary and unique happened in the environment at that point to push those changes. He says, also to call this guy a Briton is absurd. 92% or higher of Europeans are descended from the late Neolithic invasion of the British Isles by Holland and surrounding areas. Which caused 19% from. Previously to that, our ancestors were living in Russia, right? The Japanese was and were not in any way black. Nice try, Here's another one. Also, Europeans were fair-skinned due to agriculture. Then why are the fairer part of the ones that have agriculture? The least amount of time he's talking about Scandinavia, lifestyle for the longest. Whereas Southern Europe has had agriculture for longer, yet they have
Big yeoman is saying that it is skin color change white
Exactly. Next one says, it's strange that in the times of refugee crisis, we discover that the original printers were black, but it's probably just a coincidence, right?
Some people are on it.
Of course. This discovery is just in time for the royal wedding between Harry and Meghan. The timing couldn't have been better, just like yeah, but that's, it's funny. It's because it's so ridiculous. So you have to keep an eye on all of these finds when they come out, and they alter from the science that we get given or told about. It's usually not based on actual factual science. It's based on political correctness and an agenda to change our perception of it. And that's why we have this bullshit about the Muslim Vikings and stuff like that. And you're going to find that scientific institutions, universities, and all these kinds of places are going to begin to alter their view of what happened, so that the view will change and give up and think, oh well, if we're all black, then I guess it doesn't matter then, you know, but it does. This is the thing. Even if that was true, even if it was true, we're all out of Africa.
Doesn't matter. We're different now.
We're different now.
We've been separated for a long time.
And if you remove those differences, you kill diversity. That's just how basic it is, right? If you mix and blend everyone out, all those differences, all the diversity, over thousands of years of environmental pressures and uniqueness tied to the geographical location, which drives behavior and all of that stuff, you will remove those things. So this is stupid, and it's a pathetic attempt to give up.
But overall, you know, my genes, my Neanderthal genes, have been around for a long time. Our genetics is screaming, this is everything in me is like, this is bullshit. And
Fresh meat.
Hi guys, well I'm here editing together these snippets for you so that you can enjoy them on YouTube. If you want to watch the entire show, definitely head on over to redicemembers.com, our members website, to get full access to everything that we've done. That includes the Warrior show, tons of other stuff there for you too. So definitely support us. Make sure that you watch the entire show. Head on over there, redicemembers.com, and sign up right now. We'll see you there. Thanks.
Fresh meat.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Henry Carey with Red Ice TV. Thank you much for tuning in. We have a return guest today, Hagen Grell, who is back on the show to discuss some of the censorship issues that he has been struggling with in Germany. It's always getting here into the situation of Germany. I mentioned it last time. I mentioned it again. There is a language barrier issue, and we get sporadic news coming out from Germany in terms of what's going on. I think it's more open, maybe even today, than what we last did. There's a lot more websites that are focusing on the issues that Germany faces right now. But also censorship. That's what we're going to begin talking about that, because you hit hard about this. You've got a channel, for those who don't know, for I believe a few years now, tackling similar topics that we do. And recently, you've been in the hot seat, so to speak, when it comes to YouTube and censorship. So tell us what's been going on.
Ben, thanks for having me again. Censorship is catastrophic. It's a catastrophe in Germany right now because the government is cracking down on free speech as we speak. As I was sending you, there are a lot of issues, not for my own channel, but for the whole patriotic scene, for people who are trying to shed light on topics like immigration, but also like topics like the constant breaking of German law, the Grundgesetz, the Constitution of Germany, so to speak, which is done by getting in so many immigrants, because it's not permitted by law. So they're cracking down on channels, striking them down. A lot of the patriotic channels are not live anymore. Even larger channels with 30,000 people, which is quite large for just the German-speaking audience. And this is still going strong, and I'm supposing that it will be stronger even in 2018.
So what happened specifically? Let's talk about the case. You had, I think, 2 strikes, excuse me, recently on your channel. We can show that the image to me as well. You said you finally managed to get them off. What was this about specifically? Tell us about this.
Yeah, it was funny because you know that I think that new videos might be something that I have to look out for, that I get strikes for. But those are videos half a year old or a whole year old from 2016, or when it happened in 2017 was a year old, and both were dealing with Antifa. One was something where I spoke about voting laws, mainstream and to gather Nazi skulls, as you wrote on Facebook before, and the other one was about the general topic of the how we call the leftist death cult, which is ethno-masochistic death cult, where they hit their own people
we were talking about that also regarding Antifa, and both of those videos were struck down half a year or a year later. So basically, this got me very worried because, of course, I couldn't upload videos, but also all videos on my channel, by this logic, become not an asset, but something that I have to worry about in the future. So this triggered also some other channels that set all of their older videos to private, not to get strike for them. So implemented a self-censor basically.
And so this has become a huge issue, not only, of course, in Germany, but for the whole YouTube world, really. Even people that are not, directly involved in the kind of topics that we talk about, they've suffered from the apocalypse, they've suffered from having algorithms, shutting down their channel. I don't know how long you've been on YouTube. It's a few years, right? What do you feel about the platform? Are you thinking about getting off of it? Because we are certainly looking at other places to go, or to at least have a secondary channel somewhere else, because we don't know, maybe tomorrow will just be shut down for some reason that we're not even privy to know, right?
Absolutely true, and I'm working on a platform, actually investing a lot of money in it to get it programmed, where we have some interesting algorithms to balance out your multiple platforms. You can still stream it to the platform, something like that. Because, as you said, I've been on YouTube since 2011, and I've always thought it actually I love YouTube for what it was. It was basically a meritocracy where you could put on your ideas, your content, made it great, got people in who were interested and loved your content, and it worked. And basically right now they're rolling it all back, making it to be another TV network, basically. Not at this stage right now, but they're seeming to go that way. And just there was a meme we just saw, which was YouTube 2007 by creators, YouTube 2017 by creators. So this is how I feel about it. I really love the platform, but I'm looking for other places to save my content. And at the moment, I'm using BitChute because this automatically loads your videos and copies them. This is like a little backup, but still you have to find something very reliable.
This is actually a good time to talk about one of the platforms I've been looking at, which is Steemit has a competitor to YouTube called DTube, where you actually also can, the big issue with monetization has been over the ad specifically, and I believe we have never done the ad thing, so thankfully we didn't become dependent on that. But a while back, basically every video we uploaded, that would by de facto default said this is not appropriate for advertisement, so we shut it off for you. But DTube actually has another way about it. They've taken the cryptocurrency Steem into it, so people can actually pay creators through the service by liking it and stuff like that. There's something similar with something called the Brave browser, where people can pay BAT tokens, basic attention tokens. These are interesting options. We'll just have to see where they end up when it comes to the censorship and stuff like that. But the biggest issue, Hagen, is obviously that we want to be where the audience is. We want to reach people that they don't necessarily know about the content they want to go to. Those people, to a certain extent, it's fine, right? They will seek our content out. They can personally keep our channel down. They can contact us and say, hey, where are you? Where can I watch your stuff? And we have sites where they can go and stuff. But we want the related videos to show up so the people who are outside of our political sphere and ideological sphere get exposed to content which differs from them. Right? That's the beautiful thing with the internet. And that ability to shut down and all these different sectors are being isolated in their own echo chambers, which frankly, I'm up for debate. I'm up for different viewpoints and stuff like that. And it's true for both right and left, I would say. But what do you make of that? What's the future here of it's just isolation, feels right?
Yeah, this is what they're aiming for. So I'd say we as creators altogether or for ourselves have to think more like entrepreneurs, I'd say, because we have to be on many platforms. We have to spread our content, we have to be everywhere to get to the audience which are receptive to our content. And there are a lot of people looking for stuff like that. Some people still send mails to me, although I have I'm working on it 2 years very, very strongly, which is my where I started to put content out regularly, daily, and people are still writing, oh, just I found your content, it's so great, you've given me new ways to think about stuff, new information. So there are still so many people who might be receptive to the content, and they're trying to keep them separated from us so they can see it, those people can see it, what might be better content for them.
So let's talk a bit about the lawsuit. I mean, it's all kind of tied in here in terms of, there's a lawsuit, there was other, specific cases that we'll talk about, but what was the deal with the lawsuit?
Yeah, the lawsuit is just an example how crazy and how lunatic the German judicial system or some in it act to preserve the status quo. In my example, it was a lawsuit where a woman contacted their lawyers to basically get me to take a video down and to pay a fine because I read an article online which was already published for everyone to see, and claiming that I was publishing her name, making her public. Although she wasn't in the article, like mentioned 6, 7, 8 times with her own words, she was confirmed that this article was okay for her, but my video wasn't. So basically, she tried to shut me down talking about her. And I wasn't even talking about her. It was a video about the Islamization of Germany. I said that Islamization is not happening, so not happening, it's happening. And I was just reading from the article, and just at the last part of the paragraph, there was her name. So I